Hi guys, today I'm talking about a brand spanking new house called Headspace, a brand I discovered at ESXENCE, probably the standout brand for me, one of the standout brands, and I was very intrigued with not only the fragrances, but also the design work, the bottles and everything, and I'm going to talk to you all about it today. I don't have the fragrances here. In fact, I shot a video with Samuel, a rep for the brand, or someone that works for the brand, while at ESXENCE, so he will talk about the different fragrances, and then also I will come back and let you know what I think about the fragrances as well. So if you're curious to learn about Headspace, a new house, then please stay tuned. Thanks so much for tuning in. This is Sebastian. Yes, we're talking about Headspace today. 7 fragrances that are soon to launch as a whole brand new brand. And the fragrances are all created by IFF perfumers. 2 fragrances from Julien Rascanet, 2 fragrances created by Nicolas Beaulieu. There's a fragrance created by Fanny Bal. There's also Caroline Dumour, and then a perfumer I don't know about, Miroslav Petkov. So great fragrances. You know, I was really excited for this house because I smelled the one that I really enjoyed. So it got me curious to learn more about the brand. And then I was put together with Samuel, who shot this video with me, who I'm going to cut to. You're going to learn about it from him. And then, as I said, I'll come back and let you know some more details about the brand. So watch Samuel explain all the fragrances.
All right. So a couple of quick words about Headspace. Headspace means 2 things. It has different meanings. Headspace is the name of an extraction technique born in the 1970s. It's basically to capture what's incapturable otherwise. So for example, if you have a flower that you cannot extract by distillation or steam extraction or whatever, you can go directly in nature, in situ to the flower. Basically, you put a kind of bell and some captors, and then you go back to the lab and recreate the scent. So there's a technique invented in the 70s, and it's basically a symbol of the eternal quest of the perfumer, which is about, you know, capturing the incapturable. And Nicolas, when he created the brand, he has this relentless idea of paying homage to the ability of perfume to capture what's uncapturable, capturing something. So that's the first definition of Headspace. And the second one is Headspace, that's the space in your head, so that's the imagination. So perfume is about a little bit science, a little bit poetry, and imagination. So let's start to smell them. You're going to smell them, right? Okay, so the first one is called GENIEVRE. GENIEVRE stands for juniper. And every perfume is worked around the main hero natural ingredient and the Headspace extract. The names are very simple, but the scents are much more faceted and complex. Let's start with the first one, which is the freshest, GENIEVRE. So it's exploring freshness through bitterness. It's freshness without citruses. It's basically summer evening, you're relaxing and chilling with friends in front of a swimming pool, and you're having a sip of a gin tonic. Very fresh with a pink pepper top.
That's delicious.
It is. The second one is called SAUGE, which stands for clary sage. So usually we use sage for, you know, replacing lavender in a fougere accord, but it's not a fougere at all. It's very woody, it has a spicy top note. It's the vibration of nature after the storm. It's like a big waterfall, you know, in the mountains. So it's very fresh, very vegetal, green, woody. On skin, it's beautiful. It's a head turner. Very beautiful.
Wow. That one will be popular.
We hope. TUBEREUSE. TUBEREUSE. It's not going to be your usual tuberose with peach and coconut and lactonic notes at all. It's the tuberose, not before the sex, but after the sex. So it has the cold cigarette smoky note as well, which is given by the galbanum. So it's very green, actually. It's a sexy green. That's interesting. So the galbanum is right in the middle and makes the link between the greenness of the tuberose and the cold tobacco aspect of a cigarette. And the Headspace extract is a cigarette.
Wow.
It's a beautiful tuberose.
It is.
That could appeal even to those who don't
like tuberose.
That's beautiful. So all the scents are created by IFF perfumers. You have Fanny Bell for the first one, Caroline Dumer, and Nicolas Beaulieu. The next one is also created by Nicolas Beaulieu, and it's called Absinthe. So Absinthe is wormwood, of course, but it's also the alcoholic drink that makes people crazy. So it's the scent of craziness, it's the scent of letting go, it's the scent of dancing bodies on the dance floor in a nightclub, and you know that precise moment when you let go everything. And the Headspace extract used here is the scent of skin. So it's a leather underneath.
Yeah. It's quite nice. Grassy.
Yeah, patchouli, a little bit animalic. And it's also from Nicolas Beaulieu. Next one is Santal, which is not gonna smell like your creamy and milky sandalwood, but like champagne.
I smelled this yesterday and I was impressed with how great it is.
So
champagne and sandalwood together, what a strange combo, but it works.
You have this boozy opening of champagne. It's the scent of red carpet, you know, with men wearing tuxedos and women on stilettos and beautiful dresses. So there's a big rose blooming here. That's the signature of Jules Dinand, which is the IFF perfumer that worked on this.
Wow.
And of course the sandalwood behind.
He did a great job.
Yeah.
Very unique.
Yes, that's what's interesting, because the names are simple, but the scents are singular. The next one is MYRRHE. So, MYRRHE, and it's not going to smell like church. It's going to be a work between hot and cold. You have the freshness of the sea, the minerality of the sea, the brutality of the waves coming against rocks under the sun. So you have it's very ambergris, very mineral. You have the warmth of the cinnamon and the cold aspect of aldehydes and fragrances. It's very woody, very interesting, and quite easy to wear. Last one is STYRAX. So STYRAX is the resin perfumers use to create a leather accord. So this one is going to be about leather and saffron. It's the most Middle East of the brand, of course. It's a stallion galloping in the sands. It's very powerful. You have wood, of course. Saffron, very warm, opulent texture. Very dense.
Yeah, it's nice. Yeah, I think the most unique for me is the Santal.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fine. Glad you like it.
Anything else you want to say?
Well, it's the very first time that we are exposing and showing the brand, so it's not yet launched, and we're very happy with the reception of the public. People are interested, people are curious and happy to discover. And yeah, one thing that I very much like, I always ask at the end, which is your favorite fragrance? So, for example, your favorite one is SANTAL.
I also like the GENIEVRE.
Genèvre, okay.
Genèvre.
And I always ask this question. And every fragrance has been more than twice, sometimes 3, 4, 10 times, but every fragrance has been selected as a favorite by someone. So you have for everybody, everybody could have an interesting experience with one of these scents. So we hope it's gonna please to people.
Cool.
That's it.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thanks so much for watching that. Are you excited for this brand? Are you curious which fragrance sounds the best to you? So let me tell you my favorite fragrance, the standout fragrance from this house. The first one I sampled that got me really intrigued, it's the sandalwood. You probably heard me speaking in the video. The sandalwood, or Santal, created by Jules Dinand. It was the most unique combination. Very interesting, very sparkling, you know, champagne, bubbly, fizzy, with this kind of creamy sandalwood. And I kind of find those two notes, the sparkles, the sharpness of the fizziness with this kind of creamy sandalwood were very, very contrasting notes, but really worked wonderfully together. I felt like that was really the standout fragrance for me, because I like the idea of a bubbly, champagne-y kind of fragrance with this, you know, creamy, smooth, very cozy, sandalwood note. So that was the standout for me, but also the Geneviève one was really great as well. Probably the lightest of all the fragrances from this collection, but really great smelling. It smelled great because it was really hot there, and when you sprayed the Geneviève, it really kind of like hit me and woke up my senses, because it was just very, very sparkling, but also sharp with its very aromatic ingredients of the juniper note. So those two fragrances were the standout, but I also enjoyed the SAUGE, which is the clary sage. I enjoyed the absinthe and the tuberose. Now the only two that really didn't resonate with me, the MYRRHE, which is also created by Julian Rasquinet, was the one that didn't really resonate with me. So I felt like maybe my palate was off to appreciate that fragrance, or maybe my nose had worn out. But I want to circle back to MYRRHE and experience it again. It's the myrrh note. The other one that kind of didn't resonate with me very well is the STYRAX, but I didn't, I enjoyed it a little bit, the STYRAX, because it was kind of a leathery, ambery experience. But again, those two fragrances I'm very, very interested in trying again. But the rest of the collection seemed a little more fresher, so it was a little more appreciative in the heat. Although it was fairly cooled off in the conference center where the ESXENCE was held, I just didn't really click with the last two, or the most intense fragrances in the collection. But I'm very excited for this collection, a little bit more. So I got to meet the bottle designer Jules Dinand, who is the grandson of the famous bottle designer Pierre Dinand. There's a book here with his famous bottle creation. So if you're into historic bottles and things like that, you should definitely check out this book called Perfume Legends, Pierre Dinand. And there's 30 drawings of some of his most famous bottles. For example, here we go with the opium bottle for YSL. I'm going to show you a few that he's designed. This is Pierre Dinand, and I got to meet Jules Dinand, who designed the bottles for Headspace, who's the grandson of Pierre Dinand. Look at this one for Paco Rabanne, very unique. And I just bought this fragrance actually on the trip before I saw this book. So the Vervain, or the Verbena fragrance from L'Occitane. This is a fragrance I wore. This is not opium, it's Obsession for Men from Calvin Klein. I did not realize that he designed the Wilhelm Parfumerie bottles. Those are gorgeous, gorgeous bottles. This is a favorite of mine, Eau Sauvage, wonderful, wonderful fragrance. But a great book to have if you're into history of perfumes. You know, I did enjoy the simplistic, minimalistic design of the bottles for Headspace Fragrances, and it was great to meet Jules, the designer of the fragrance, with the bottles themselves as well. But either way, I'm very, very excited for this collection to launch soon. Hopefully it'll make it to the States sooner than later, because sometimes things launch in Europe and they don't make it here as fast enough. For example, there's several bands that kind of like took some time to kind of make it here, but we'll see what happens. But let me know what your thoughts are on this brand. Are you excited for the fragrances? And if you are, which fragrances sound the best to you? Let me know, put a comment down so I can find out. Either way, guys, thanks so much for watching today's video. This is going to be probably one of two videos, because this is basically a little sampler or teaser video for a brand new house with clips I shot from ESXENCE. But yeah, put a comment down so I can find out. Either way, thanks so much for tuning in. If you have any questions or comments, please list below. Please like this video, please share it, follow me on Instagram and Facebook, and I'll be back with more videos very soon. Have a good one. Goodbye.